Hey guys, welcome to the Tap or Snap podcast. I'm here with Ujwal and Nishant.
People.
Unfortunately, the other two are not here, but I'm sure they'll be back next time.
Yep. So
Yeah,
what? But there are quite a lot of things we need to discuss this time around. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
way too many, way
Way
too
too many.
many.
Way too
So
many.
let's start off with one of the
Yeah.
most bizarre situations. Well, not bizarre because it's been going on for a while.
All right.
Conor McGregor and Khabib beefing on Twitter because
Hmm.
Khabib was selling an NFT of his of that traditional hat of his.
Yeah.
And Conor had something to say about that because Habib would always say that he is not fighting for money. He's fighting for legacy.
Yeah.
But then he starts advertising crypto and NFTs, obviously to make money, and then using his traditional hat, which in that advertisement, he's kind of framing it as, hey, this is something that my father passed on to me, and you can now share it with your family, and this and that. And Connor just, went off on him for that. Told him that, hey, I thought it wasn't about the money. I thought it was just legacies, or your
Yeah.
legacies, NFTs, or whatever it was that he said. So, what do you guys think about that?
Two things, man. Two things. First of all, like my first question uh is it supposed to be is it a wearable thing or is it just a digital collectible?
It's
it's
just an
just a
NFT.
digital. Yeah, it's
Just an
purely
Just a
NFT.
digital.
digital thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, in that case. Oh, two things. First of all, like it is an NFT, like you guys said, but what happened to his Conor spiritual journey, man? He was supposed to stay off the internet, and when he comes back,
Yeah.
he comes with a scathing accusation like that. That kind of energy. Hmm. I don't know about that, but
I think I think Connor I think Connor's spirituality ends at Khabib. Like I'm sure he can I'm sure he's enlightened and he's had an incredible experience and he's gone on the psychedelic trip.
hmm,
He's experienced divine things, allegedly.
yeah.
But I think when it comes to Khabib, I think the demons just poke back out. Like
Hmm.
whatever was suppressed in him comes back out because there's
Yeah.
no way he was going to keep quiet about Khabib selling NFTs.
Hmm. Yeah, the whole crypto thing, man, it has taken a really bad rap, right? Especially NFTs. Every other celebrity and Instagram influencer jumping in on the trend, and I don't know. Maybe Khabib shouldn't have gone through that path, man. And you guys saw the ad, right? Like my father gave this to me, and now I'm going on that emotional angle and stuff. Maybe
Yeah,
not goat. People
yeah.
were like, "You are my goat. You should not be doing this." But hey, people need money, I guess. You can't really fault the guy. But,
I mean, does he really need money? He's a multi-millionaire. He has a lot of money, but I guess you can never make too much money. But
exactly.
at
Exactly.
least in terms of Habib, it would be okay if he hadn't built this image of I'm this pious man and I'm
Yeah.
so righteous and you know NFTs, this and that. Remember the conversation that he had not that long ago with Umar because he found out Umar was reading. I
Yeah.
forgot what the name of the book was,
Like the Sicilian
but
novel, right?
apparently,
Mafia.
yeah, exactly. And he was talking about why are you engaging in this? You're a Dagestani from the mountains, etc. And basically
Yeah.
telling him that anything that doesn't immediately lead into him being a champion should be discarded. But that's an absolutely ridiculous standpoint because Habib himself, even while fighting, was a fan of football, for example,
Yep.
to the point where Islam Makhachev pointed out in the video
He did.
that Habib has memorized the names of the most obscure football players and teams and everything because he dreamed of being a football player when he was a kid. And he still maintained that passion. So, okay, is it rules for thee and not for me? What is it? Like, who gets to decide what I can do, what you shouldn't do, what leads to this path, etc., etc.? to me, it just screams a little bit of hypocrisy because, again, he does try to come off as this super pious and righteous man and this and that. I do no wrong. And, now you're selling NFTs and you're engaging in crypto. And Hamza Chimaev got in trouble for that not too long ago, the whole crypto situation. And Conor himself used to deal in crypto as well. It is something that everybody does, but it just comes off differently when it's someone who said, "I'm here for legacy, not money."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the whole NFT thing,
I wonder.
that trend failed hard. Like, there was a
Yeah.
time where that ape tokens and stuff were like really, booming. But
Oh yeah, yeah,
yeah, you remember,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Justin Bieber was buying it.
yeah,
Everyone was buying it. But I don't
yeah.
know. Crypto failed. Maybe one day it'll make a resurgence, but right now, yeah, NFT is
Mm.
not the way to go if you wanna position or present yourself as this ideal pious man, like you said. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was an L,
Yeah.
a big
It
L,
just
kind
isn't.
of.
But you
Yeah,
know
and
what?
you saw what Connor said, right? He started calling Habib inbred and all these just
Yeah,
just below the belt
yeah,
insults.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
those two hate each other. And then Habib saying, "Hey, if you want to get sober, I know some good rehab centers here in Dagestan," or something like that. They really hate each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Hey, maybe that's why he's raising money. Who knows? Maybe he's actually looking out for Connor. He wants to raise money for more rehab centers, and that's the goal. It's enemies
So he
turn
can
to
help him
lovers.
get sober.
Oh god.
If only, because people would create memes for them all the time, like
Yeah,
around Christmas season on
yeah.
Insta, you'd see all these memes of Photoshop pictures of Conor and Habib embracing, like Habib is there for Christmas dinner at Conor's place.
Yeah.
One day, maybe, who knows?
Doubtful, but hey, one can always hope, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of beefs, there's another one that just never seems to die: Daniel Cormier and John Jones.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And Daniel Cormier questioning, why is John Jones spending Thanksgiving with Ramzan Kadyrov in Chechnya and not with his family in the United States? So, any
hmm.
thoughts on that?
That's a
Well,
very
that,
valid question, let me just say.
yeah,
That's an extremely
Mm,
valid question for a guy who's I mean, Jones has really doubled down on the family man image of his after his last arrest. I mean,
mm,
Cormier asking, okay, what's up? What's up with this? Where's the wife and kids?
yeah.
You know, your brother just passed away. Your family's, they need you now more than ever on Thanksgiving,
Mm.
nonetheless. And he's firing RPGs in Chechnya. It just seems so weird. Like,
yeah.
is he managed by Ali now? What's up? What's going on?
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
Ali's
No,
fighters.
I think he's yeah, these fighters. I think he's still with the Kawa brothers, but it's just bizarre. Why is he spending Thanksgiving like? And it's not even a case of he went to see someone in the same country that he lives in, that his family's in. No, he went to a completely different continent
Buy a
to meet
house.
with
Yeah,
a dictator. Yeah, yeah, it's just bizarre to go shoot RPGs with a dictator. I mean, it's with John Jones. It just seems to be anything that makes him money, just anything. Because
Yeah,
he was also, just I don't even know if we could talk about that, but like the weird shit with Hasbullah. I think we all saw the video. So it's just so strange. I just every time I hear about anything John Jones does that doesn't
yeah,
involve him fighting, I just ask myself, what is wrong with this man? Like genuinely, what is wrong?
yeah,
Narcissistic personality disorder? I don't know, but there's clearly something not quite right there. Because how can any other time of the year that's not a family holiday, it would still be very strange. Why are you with Ramzan Kadyrov?
yeah,
But there's also the question of why specifically Thanksgiving?
yeah.
Like why? It's just so weird.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Hmm.
it's also like even if we say okay, he's doing this for money, he's
Mm,
there was 30 million on the table to fight a guy
Yep.
you made fun of.
yeah.
You left that 30 million and you want to travel to Russia to hang out with Ramzan Kadyrov and all of this, and then the apartment thing was also so weird because people were saying that
Mm,
how does he know what he's signing? How can he does he know how to read
Yeah.
the
yeah.
language? Like it's just everything is so weird, so weird.
Hey, I have a question, follow-up question about that. You guys remember that DBX match? I guess like he was in that event and somebody was offering him. Was it DBX where he was offered the Red Square fight?
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was some event he was there, and somebody asked him like, "Okay, you are trying to get on the UFC White House card, which obviously is not happening your way. It's not working your way. So why not? What if I offer you a Red Square fight? You'll be fighting in the heart of Russia. Does this have anything to do with that?"
Maybe. Who knows with him?
Yeah.
It could just be a way. Maybe he knows. Hey, listen, if I do this, people will talk. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
know what he's doing because honestly, like Nishan said, he was offered $30 million to
Yeah.
fight Tom Aspinall,
Yeah.
and he refused. But now he's still talking shit about Tom Aspinall, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, but are you trying to create an angle for a fight? Or are you trying to? Because he keeps saying, "I want to fight on the White House card against who? Alex Pereira? I don't know about that, but." It's just I don't know. The mind of John Jones is just a bizarre, strange, dark place. So who knows?
Yeah, but I'll say this. I love Cormier, man, but he talks about Jones a little too much. You should just,
He hates him. He hates him. He hates him. It's just incredible that all of this started because John
yeah,
Jones presumably made a bad joke about, hey, I could take you down. I heard you're this Olympic wrestler.
yeah.
And just
Yeah,
bad first impression. But hey,
Mhm.
that's how it goes in MMA. Sometimes these beefs start because I don't know, somebody smiled at someone the wrong way, and then yeah, enemies forever.
Yep, yep,
I mean, does anyone even really know why Dominic Cruz hates Uriah Faber? There's no real Uriah Faber did nothing to him.
yep, yep,
Nothing. He was
yep.
never disrespectful to him until the beef started. That beef was started by Dominic Cruz, who's just an absolute weirdo himself.
What
I
about
mean,
Nate Diaz
the
beef
worst
with anyone? Anyone ever?
anyone. I mean,
yeah,
he was even beefing with himself on Twitter when he was telling himself to pull up, responding to his own tweet. So yeah, I don't know. CTE, I guess.
Maybe, maybe.
yeah,
But I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey, but happy
yeah,
Thanksgiving to John Jones and Daniel Cormier, I guess. Be happy, people.
yeah.
Just be happy.
Yeah, just be happy. You guys are millionaires.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah,
chill with your families and just just relax. Just relax.
yeah.
But on the topic of CTE, what do you guys think about Lerone Murphy posting alleged stills of a sparring session he had with Movsar Evloev where he's claiming he knocked him out?
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm.
That was that was interesting. That was interesting to me
Yeah, he did knock out
because
Aaron Pico, but Aaron Pico goes out guns blazing. But
Yeah.
Mosar is more of a calculated kind of guy. Boring,
yeah,
but people might consider him boring, but I don't think he's gonna let himself open like that.
Mm.
Maybe this was an old footage. Maybe people do make mistakes.
Could be. Could be. And it's sparring, it
yeah,
could really be a thing where
Hmm.
he was brought in to help him with a very specific technique and,
Yeah,
it's not that big. It's just very interesting because, Movsar Evloev's undefeated. He's fought guys with power
yeah,
and he's never been knocked out or anything. And
yeah.
then you have Lerone Murphy who he doesn't hit that hard. Obviously he knocked out Aaron Pico, but if you fight someone who's
Hmm.
fighting like Aaron Pico, you're probably gonna knock them out
Yeah, yeah,
because it's just all offense, just all gas, no brakes.
yeah.
But it's interesting because these two could find themselves in a fight, and maybe the next number one contender because we know Volkanovski is going to be facing Diego Lopez again. I mean,
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't understand the logic there. Why is Diego Lopez getting a rematch for
Yeah.
beating Jean Silva? You know, Jean Silva is cool and everything. He was riding a win streak, but I don't think losing to Volk in the way that he did. I mean, Volk was tuning him up in that first fight. He had his moments, obviously, but he lost very clearly. And then you get one win after that, and immediately get a rematch, an immediate rematch. I don't understand that logic. I just don't get it. And apparently, this might be Volk's last fight, so I don't know. I don't know what the UFC's thinking. UFC is it 325, I think, where this is
25,
gonna
yeah.
Yeah,
happen.
Yeah.
Or yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I really wanted to see Volk fight Evloev. I just wanted to see him fight another strong
Yeah.
wrestler. But who knows? Dana White is. I really don't think Dana White cares anymore. He had no enthusiasm when he announced these fights either.
Hmm.
no. I mean, it's. I think in one of the embedded vlogs, Vogue said that he was surprised that it was
Mm.
Diego Lopez and not Mofsar or Liron, because I think he was mentally prepared to take on a new challenge, and then the UFC
Mm.
just went like, nah, like we need someone to entertain. We need someone
Yeah. Yeah.
who the
Yeah.
fans know can stand up against you. I think I have a theory on this. It's a theory.
Yeah.
I have absolutely nothing to back this up, but
Go
I
for it.
think the fact that the fact that Hamzat, Merab, all of these guys have, I think Islam Makhachev, they've all competed in title fights that went the distance, very grappling heavy fights, a lot of ground work,
Yeah.
and I think the UFC just went enough of that.
Could
Mm.
be.
Volkanovski,
Could be.
Lopez, just throw down. None of this, because a lot of people were very critical of Makashev's performance. They were critical of Khamzat's performance.
Mm.
They have called Mirab a boring fighter. So I think the
Mm.
UFC somewhere was just like, we're not going to have multiple pay-per-view or multiple numbered events, just
Yeah.
grapplers, grapplers, grapplers. Maybe, who knows? That's
It
just
makes
me
sense.
spitballing out here.
Mm.
It makes sense, It makes sense. And the worst part is, look, like you said, Khamzat, that is Hamzat middleweight, featherweight Mahashev. Okay, lightweight is good, Ilya Tapuria. Then bantamweight, featherweight. Now it'll be decided. Bantamweight, Mirab. The thing is, Mirab, even Makashev to an extent, and even Khamzat, they try to get finishes. I guess at least Khamzat and Makashev, they do try to get finishes. The DDP match was,
Mm.
yeah, it was a bit too much. Of course he did get him in a crucifix and but it was kind of,
Yeah.
I understand why people would see that match and feel like and go like, okay, this is boring. I get it. And even the
Mm.
JDM matchup, but the JDM matchup, to be fair, Makashev did try to advance positions and stuff. Now look at
Yeah.
Evloev. I'm not saying it's right. As if we are purists, we should want him to fight for the title. I get that, but look at his record:
Mm.
zero finishes, zero finishes.
Yeah.
So he's not getting a finish in his next fight. That's not gonna happen. So would
Yeah.
would UFC risk that? Because at the end of the day, this is a business, and UFC is having a real crisis with the lack of superstars, which to an extent has been solved now. I guess like Ilya is there, Poatan is there. If they make again favorable matchups, they might. Which again, like it is against the
Yeah.
ethos or whatever Dana White says he's going for, but. No, I think Nishan's point, man, it holds a lot of weight, I guess, because what if Ivloev becomes a
Mm.
champion and stays a champion for a long time, and every match is him, backpacking someone, just like getting on their
Yeah.
back and be heavy and hold them down, PD pat punches, and then get a unanimous decision. Who would want to see that? Except the hardcore MMA fans. What about the casuals?
Yeah.
I mean, also like if y'all remember, there used to be this fighter called Muhammad Mukaev
Yep. Yep.
who
Oh,
they just
yeah. Oof.
they just yeeted him out of the promotion
Yep.
for
Mm.
something that I don't know. I didn't feel like at that time I didn't feel like it was enough to like kick a fighter out.
Yep.
But they
Yeah.
got rid of him, and he was known for his grappling heavy style,
Yep.
which was well, it was boring,
Yep.
kind of
Mm.
to many people. But yeah, like Evloev could I don't know, like if he does like you said, if he doesn't have any finishes, and if he doesn't get any finishes, they're just going to find a reason to just
Yeah.
kick him out.
Yeah.
Something.
I think there's something to that because when we really think about it, flyweight, we have Alexandre Pantoja. He's a grappler as well.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay, he
then
is.
bantamweight.
Completely
Yeah.
forgot about that.
And then
Yeah.
bantamweight, Merab, grappler. Featherweight, we have Volk, but we'll see how the title picture turns out in the future because I think Evloev is gonna get that title at some point.
Yeah.
And then lightweight, obviously, we have Topuria, but that brings me to this point that even reinforces what Nishan said. We just learned that there's going to be an interim title fight at lightweight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to be between Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje. Curiously, not Arman Sarukian, who just beat Dan Hooker in a fight that Dana White said would crown the #1 contender. And when we got this announcement that it's going to be Paddy and Gaethje headlining the Paramount card, uh, Sarukian himself, he went to Twitter and he's like, make it make sense.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what's going on? I think it's because they don't want another grappler. Because there's a very good chance that Arman Sarukian beats Ilia Topuria. Topuria can beat him, of course.
Yeah.
But there's a very good chance that I think Arman Sarukian is the worst stylistic matchup for Ilia Topuria,
Yeah.
even more so than Islam. And I think the UFC knows it. You can't have a situation where someone like Topuria, this undefeated knockout artist, immediately loses his belt in his first title defense against another grappler, because now we're looking at a situation where it's Pantoja, it's Merab, it's Arman Sarukian, it's Islam Makhachev, it's Hamzat Chimaev. I mean, I think the UFC that, and like you said, as purists, this shouldn't bother us, and it does not bother me, even though obviously I did not like the Hamzat DDP fight. That was really, really boring. I like all facets of MMA, but I don't like just the most boring wet blanket grappling any more than I like the most boring point fighting kickboxing match. Like when Adesanya was a champion, he had some stinkers in there that I was not a fan of.
Yeah.
So, it goes both ways. But I think the UFC I think they don't want these guys because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the Arman
mean,
thing, that
Arman-
makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense,
He
actually.
was done bad. He was done very bad.
Yeah. So
Like,
that is
I
the
can't
thing,
believe
you know?
that.
That is the thing. Like, okay, if you go the Joe Rogan route, right? Like the purest route, let's say, like, no rounds, let the fight go till it
Jesus.
ends. But
No rounds.
yeah, the thing is, the sport might not survive. Then where will we take our purism mind to? Like, the sport won't be there. Like, I don't think anyone ever would appreciate just people holding other people down. I get the technical aspects, I appreciate it, I do. Like, I train, I know, like, I mean, we all know like what goes into that, but who would want to see that for 5 rounds? People would want to see possessions, advancing possessions, the other guy making it hard for the guy who is wrestling him, which is not happening. Like, Hamzat was literally holding him down, okay? Like, just neutralized him, like, zero resistance from DDP. Yeah, the sport won't survive, man, if it is like this. So the UFC is doing some sort of a I mean, I hate to say this, but is it a necessary evil? I don't know. But it's not fair. I'll just say that much. But I don't have the answers. Maybe that's why I'm not a matchmaker. Hey, let them do their work.
I mean, I don't really think UFC is doing this for survival. They just signed a $7.7 billion deal with Paramount.
Hmm.
I don't think money is a shortage.
Yeah.
Now is the perfect
Mm.
time for them to really lean into the sport,
Yeah.
make the sport so clean and pure and so what do you call it, like a fresh cut diamond,
Mm.
where every fighter has a fair chance, every fighter gets paid. Money is not a shortage for them.
What about after
But the fact
7
that they're
years,
doing
man?
this,
Like 7 years is gonna
yeah,
go
but
like that, snap of a finger, right? What after that?
I mean, there will
true,
always be
true.
stars, right? There's always gonna be someone who will knock someone
Um,
out. Because I think even in the most
they
boring
just get them all out of
era
retirement
of
for
the
one
UFC,
old man throwdown, like or whatever. But like for
Yeah.
now, at least,
I think the
yeah, I think they're
chance.
fine. I honestly think I think the UFC is fine. Um,
Hmm.
I do think they don't want a situation where 90% of the champions are grapplers,
Yeah.
but I think in terms of selling the product, they're fine because there is no alternative.
Yeah.
The PFL is just hemorrhaging money.
Yeah.
Ngannou is nowhere to be found. He's not fighting. He wants to box again. So the PFL is just completely out of the market in terms of actual competition for the UFC.
Hmm.
Bellator
Yeah.
bought by the PFL, so they're a non-factor. One
Mhm.
championship, they're focusing more on kickboxing than anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the UFC really has competition. You have Ryzen, but Ryzen is regional.
Yeah.
it's in it's in Asia more than
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
It's not really dominating the North American market. So I think the UFC is fine. I think the reason
Yeah.
the UFC can afford to do things like John Jones fighting Stipe instead of fighting Tom Aspinall,
Yeah.
which is the fight that everyone wanted. The UFC has been able to do all of these things because in one of the past episodes I pointed out that I don't think Dana White's that good of a businessman because there have been a lot of fights that we want, maybe not as good a businessman. I mean, maybe not as good a matchmaker because there have been a lot of fights that we wanted to see, the fans wanted to see, that we just never got. We never got Brock Lesnar versus Fedor, even though that's a fight he tried to organize. We
Yeah.
never got Cyborg versus Ronda, a fight that everybody wanted to see. He failed to get it done. Anderson Silva versus GSP, GSP versus Khabib. There's just been a lot of fights that we wanted to see, and he just never managed to get it done.
Yeah.
And he could afford to do that because there's no competition. There's
True.
just absolutely no competition. Whenever
Yeah.
competition does emerge, the UFC has such a massive financial advantage. They just acquire the competition like they did with Strikeforce.
Yeah.
So I don't think the UFC is in any kind of financial problem,
Yeah.
but I definitely think they don't want a situation where all of the champions are these wrestlers and grapplers who may or may not get a finish, but
Yeah.
you know.
Hmm. It's not even a financial problem, like I don't think they're going to run out of business. Like me saying the survival of
Mm,
the sport, I don't mean the sport will cease to exist. It'll be there, but it'll be just
right.
MMA. Okay, it'll be MMA, a thing, that a fighting sport, that's it. But it won't be a sport
Mm,
because it can be something like soccer and stuff, because it can be something that big. I believe it can be the next boxing, let's say, like what boxing
mm,
was a couple of years ago, right? Like everybody wanted to watch it. So it can be a
right.
mainstream sport. And I don't know, like mistakes could end its pursuit to being that. Right now it's a combat sport. It's a very niche thing, right? Even if it does have billions of fans worldwide, it is more of a niche sport, I think. I mean, just think about journalism. Like when you think about a sports journalist, your brain doesn't go to an MMA journalist or a boxing journalist. You'll be like, oh, are you covering football, soccer, or something? So what I'm trying to say is sport could be that big, like the mainstream of the mainstream, but I don't know, boring fights could actually kill that path at least. Maybe, but who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
But I think they're doing fine. Speaking of which, the
Yeah.
card, UFC 324,
Huh.
that's the Paramount card, and we have two title fights. It's an interesting one. Who do we have in terms of Patty versus Gaethje and Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes and
Hmm. How does the card look like? 230, 324, right? Main event.
yeah,
Okay. Hmm. Gaethje versus Patty. Huh? I don't know, man. Like I know Patty can leave his chin hanging up in the air, but is this the is
And
this
Gaethje cracks.
Gaethje does crack? But is this would this be passing of the guard? Do you guys think Patty can pull off that jumping triangle and you know? Do you think that's a possibility?
yeah,
Yeah, right. I
yeah.
have
I
this.
think he wins. I think he absolutely destroys Gaethje. I mean, Justin Gaethje has some tools that can give Paddy Pimblett some problems because he does keep his chin in the air.
Yeah.
And he does not think he can get knocked out. That he's eventually going to get cracked.
Oh,
But I think the problem is Justin Gaethje hasn't knocked anyone out in how long? How many years has it been since Gaethje knocked anybody out? He hits hard, of course he hits hard.
okay.
But I don't think when looking at a fight, like
Yeah.
I just cannot bring myself to hinge a prediction on, this guy could land a knockout blow. I just
Yeah.
can't. I have to look at it from a more technical perspective. Unless, if we're talking about like Francis Ngannou, yeah, I mean, that's just a no-brainer because the guy hits so hard. And unless it's a 5-second fight, you are going to get hit once, at least once. Even if you're dominating him,
Yeah.
you will get hit once. Unless you're dealing with someone like Francis Ngannou, where that one time, that's it.
Mm.
I don't know about Justin Gaethje knocking Paddy out. He could. Um, I just don't see it. I think the low kicks will give Paddy some issues, but
Yeah.
I think the main problem here is Paddy is very good at managing distance. He has some good front kicks. He's huge for the division. And I feel like the moment he gets a body lock, if he manages to secure a takedown, Justin Gaethje's worst habits will lead to a finish because Justin Gaethje has this really bad habit of rolling onto his stomach so that he can push off of his hands and feet to get right back up. And it works, but it's not going to work against a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt who's going to immediately latch onto your back and sink in a rear naked choke.
Yep.
I mean, I just don't see a situation where Gaethje he could win. Again, he could chin check him, and it would be the funniest thing ever because the UFC clearly wants Paddy Pimblett to win so that they can set up that grudge match with him and Ilia Topuria. But I don't know. I don't know about Gaethje. I don't know.
Yashant?
Yeah. I agree. I agree with Ricardo. But I do think that Gaethje, he does leave his chin up. Like he leaves himself open to, and if Gaethje like decides that this is his last, I mean, it is his last
Yeah.
run to the title, and he really brings his A game. I mean, I know he hasn't knocked out anyone for a while now, but
Actually, he did. Dustin Poirier. I just checked, like that high kick, head kick. Remember, but that was a one-off thing. You can't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was yeah.
Yeah.
The whole Scousers don't get knocked out thing might.
Yeah. Poor Darren Till. I guess he's not a Scouser. Such a crazy thing for Paddy to say. Like, yeah, Scousers don't get knocked out. Well, damn, I guess Darren too. He doesn't count. But yeah, interesting fight. Very interesting fight. What about
Yeah.
Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes?
Huh.
Should have been the main event.
Because it
It's a
is a
title.
title
honestly,
fight. True.
over Patty and Gaethje, yeah. I don't care about Patty versus Gaethje at all.
But what if it was
Yeah,
Prime Gaethje, man? Then the fight would have been interesting, I think. Maybe.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it was Prime Gaethje, then yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like,
Because
I
I
do think
Yeah,
that for this card, the Kayla Amanda fight is, I mean, way more interesting.
yeah,
what will happen?
it's an
Can
interesting
she
one.
will Kayla just hold Amanda down and but Kayla's very strong, man. Very strong. I don't think Amanda
Yeah,
has faced anyone physically who is as strong as Kyla. I mean, you could say Cyborg was strong,
yeah,
but we never got to explore that fight. Like it just ended like that, right? They just met in the
yeah.
middle, and then it was over in a blink of a second. But
Mm,
this one, I think Kyla knows she can't stand and trade with Amanda, like because she is literally the goat. I think she's gonna go for a grappling heavy approach from the start. This is the biggest fight she can get in the organization, so she is gonna play it safe, hold her down, make it physical, make it a very physical fight. And Amanda, who has been out of the mix for a bit, she might. There will obviously be ring rust, but more than that, her cardio might get checked. Grueling grappling exchanges. And by the end, I believe, I don't think Amanda will be in a position to get her stand up going and perhaps get a TKO or something. So I think it's split or a unanimous decision. Kyla Harrison. I don't think she's going to submit her or anything, but ground and pound, be heavy, top heavy. I think that's the way. Kyla, decision. That's what I think. What about you
I
guys?
think it's I think I agree. I agree. But I think
mm,
Kayla gets a submission. I think Kayla gets a submission early actually, within the first 3 rounds.
yeah,
I
Okay.
yeah,
I mean,
Damn.
I do think that
yeah.
Amanda's have had a long career. She's had a very
Mm,
long career, and she she's the yeah she does have the tag of being the goat. But yeah, I think the ring rust, the age, the the
mm.
wear and tear, it all like, adds up to Kayla getting a submission.
That's an interesting one. I think if this fight happened a couple of years ago, I would pick Nunes to just obliterate her.
For
But
sure.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the
yeah.
time off, the potential cage rust, the cardio, and yeah, the physicality. I mean, Kayla Harrison is clearly the strongest fighter that Amanda Nunes has ever fought. She's fought Cyborg and Holly Holm. And a lot of people don't know this, but Holly Holm is insanely strong. If you watch back the Cyborg fight, just watch the clinching
Yeah.
sequences. Boring as fuck, I know. But Cyborg could not control Holly Holm in the clinch. Holly Holm is really, really, really strong.
Yeah.
She's really
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
And Kayla Harrison went in there and bullied her. I mean, she's just a juggernaut. Obviously, no one's gonna win a fight because they're physically stronger than someone. But I think it's just gonna be the cage rust. It's gonna be the age. Kayla Harrison is hungry. Amanda Nunes has accomplished so much. Kayla Harrison has been chomping at the bit to get in the UFC to prove that she's the best in the world. She's been wanting this fight for a very long time, which I imagine means she's been preparing for it for a very long time. They've trained together. I think on the feet, obviously, Kayla Harrison has nothing. Her striking is not that good.
Yeah.
And it's not like Amanda Nunes striking is that good either. She's just really, really powerful because Amanda Nunes really only has a 1-2 and a low kick. But she hits so hard that it causes people to freeze. Her opponents freeze because most bantamweights don't hit that hard. So when you get touched, you get cracked like that, it freezes you. It's like, well, it's the same thing that happens whenever Ngannou hits someone. They just freeze because that's not normal. But will she have her timing? Amanda's long, she's powerful, but I think she's been out for too long. I think if the fight hits the ground, she will gas out. And I don't think being on the ground with someone like Kayla Harrison will bode well for someone who was submitted by Juliana Pena with no hooks in. I mean, that was crazy to get submitted by a rear naked choke with no hooks in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was insane. So I think she's going to lose. If, who knows? She could just go in there and knock her out. But I think a lot of people are expecting this to be a repeat of Amanda Nunes versus Ronda Rousey. And Ronda Rousey and Kayla Harrison are similar in a superficial way. They're both judokas, but they grapple in completely different ways. Kayla Harrison actually shoots for double legs.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Ronda Rousey shoot for a double leg or a single leg ever. It's all from the clinch. It's all hip tosses, head and arm throws, etc., arm drags. Kayla Harrison is a more varied grappler.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if she'll finish her, but, who knows? I have Kayla Harrison.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, I think Amanda lost something in that first fight with Juliana. I think she lost her it factor, Even the rematch, you could see her vulnerabilities in the rematch. Whereas before, you couldn't. Amanda Nunes was this dominant force, There was nothing you could really do against her. And then once the cracks started showing, it was very apparent after that. Even the rematch, you could see, like, she could lose the fight. It felt like that. But she was the better fighter, he won. But this time around, she's going up against perhaps someone who could be one of the best in the sport. And with her vulnerabilities already exposed, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough.
She's
It's going to be tough.
37.
Yeah.
37.
She's 37. She's fought 28 times.
Yeah.
And there's also the fact that I think her head's just not in the game, because even before she retired, she was already talking about retirement. And Dana White famously said, like at a press conference or something, he said, Amanda Nunes is the only fighter who he will say, do not retire. Because it usually says if a fighter's talking about retirement, they should probably retire.
Yeah.
But Amanda Nunes, don't retire. And then, she's talking about that. She loses. She then gets her belt back and then retires and then talks about coming back. I just don't feel like her head's in the game anymore. And to be a Hall of Famer who's accomplished everything, who's beaten more UFC champions than nearly any other fighter, I don't think she has that hunger. I think she's going to lose. But on the topic of legends coming back,
I know where you're going.
There's a rumor circulating, that Ronda Rousey is apparently going to fight Katie Taylor in a boxing match. Oh my God. Who signed off on this? If this is legit, who signed off on this? And who told? And first of all, for Ronda Rousey, bizarre look, because wasn't she saying not too long ago that the reason she lost to Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes was because of concussion symptoms and this and that? Okay, so now you're coming back to boxing? That's even worse. That's significantly worse.
Yep.
This is bizarre.
Bad ideas go, this just might take the cake, It's one of the best bad ideas you'll ever see. And on the topic of her CTE, apparently she got it checked and it's not as bad as she thought it was. That's what she said. But you guys remember there was rumors that Khabib was gonna fight Floyd. It was there, right? Once upon a time, there were rumors. So there's a reason why it did not happen, and it's the same thing. Like Ronda Rousey, a judoka, going up against arguably one of the greatest women boxers of all time. Who, in their right mind, would put these two together in a boxing ring? I mean, turn the tables. Would you put Katie Taylor in a judo match with Ronda Rousey? Who would want to see that?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
If you want to see someone from MMA box Katie Taylor, put a boxer, put someone who's good with their hands, and it's definitely not Ronda Rousey. We all have seen those shadow boxing
Yeah,
footages.
awful.
Like Nishant
yeah.
rightfully said, yeah, I don't think she can outbox a heavy bag, man. So it's
Terrible idea.
Yeah.
it's a terrible
Absolutely
idea.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was when I read the news, when I
yeah,
saw the rumors being posted online.
yeah,
The
Mm.
that meme? There's a meme. Um, hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby.
yeah.
That's what came to mind. And literally, like this is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It's awful. It is awful.
And why does she want to
It's
do
so
that?
bad.
She's a legend, man. Like Ronda Rousey means something. Okay, she's one of the people who made
Yeah.
MMA. I don't want to see her get beat up in the boxing ring.
Mm.
Yeah,
But there's another angle to this. Like, if you look at it from a boxing fan's perspective, Katie Taylor's a huge legend in Ireland and otherwise. Like,
yeah,
I
Mm.
mean, she's the Katie Taylor.
yeah,
Why is she fighting Ronda Rousey? Like, she's one of the greatest most accomplished female athletes in Ireland
yeah,
overall.
yeah.
Mm.
And her going up against Ronda is just so weird.
Yeah,
So
it
weird.
is.
It does nothing for her legacy. It does absolutely nothing. I think it's just a money grab. If it does happen, it's just a money grab because it makes
Yeah.
no sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely no sense. And for Rhonda, I don't know if she ran out of money or something, which would be insane. She earned quite a bit as a fighter. But if that's the case, she could easily become a commentator.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
ring up Dana White. They're really good friends. She could just call him, ask him, hey, listen, can I just be a part time commentator in the UFC? She'll earn enough to make a living.
yeah,
If that's the
Yeah.
case, I mean,
yeah.
if it's a competitive itch, she would just be back in MMA. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure why this idea is even being floated around or whose idea it was, or someone is managing Ronda Rousey incorrectly, or who knows? If this fight
Yeah.
happens, it's going to be an absolutely brutal assassination.
Or
Because she
maybe
can't box. She can't box.
maybe it'll be a sparring session, like Tyson and Jake Paul.
Mm.
That's
Maybe
what it's
it'll
going
be
to look
just
like.
a cash grab to get the
Also,
tickets.
Could be.
Yeah,
speaking
Could
of
be.
like,
Could be an exhibition.
yeah,
yeah, speaking of money grabs, like Ronda was also in the WWE. Like
yeah,
after
Mm.
the UFC, she went there, she made a load of money, she sold merchandise.
yeah,
I have a I have this little cousin who was born after he's a post 2005 baby who knows Ronda
Mm.
Rousey as a WWE star. He has no idea she did
Wow.
competed in the
yeah,
UFC.
yeah.
But
Damn.
Incredible.
for these,
Yeah,
yeah, but for these WWE fans, Ronda's like huge.
yeah.
Mm.
So
Man.
she has a very diverse fan base. So
Yeah.
like I don't think I maybe, but like money problems for Ronda Rousey is she did
Yeah, that's
movies.
not gonna happen. True. Yeah. And she's like Mike Tyson, like there'll always be money
I mean, who
attached to
knows?
her name.
She might have mismanaged her money because Mike Tyson at his peak, he ran out of money so fast just buying the most ridiculous,
Yeah,
extravagant things. And who knows with Ronda Rousey, she's not that public with her expenses and her lifestyle. We know she has a farm,
Yeah.
but I don't know if she invested an absurd amount of money on that farm and it has not, made any kind of return on that investment. So who knows? But it's just bizarre. There's no reason she should be, she can go grapple, do something in ADCC or,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
something to that effect, There are grappling tournaments she can take part in and make money. She doesn't have to do boxing, but it's Ronda Rousey. Nobody can tell her anything.
Exactly.
So
She'll do
she's
her.
just going to do exactly what she wants. Yeah.
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 Let's hope if she does get beat up, it's not too bad. That's all we can hope for at this point. Yeah.
Probably will be very bad.
Okay.
But hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully she doesn't lose an eye like Tom Aspinall, who recently said that he
That was
has
full
he
Ricardo.
has
That was
Brown
full.
syndrome.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was. He has Brown syndrome, according to a doctor
Yeah.
who said they don't know yet if he needs surgery,
Okay.
but he's been advised not to train, not to fight until they understand exactly what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And Tom Aspinall said in that he posted it on his YouTube channel. He said, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." He's mad at Dana White because Dana White implied that he quit. He didn't outright say he quit, but he said Tom Aspinall didn't want to continue.
Yeah.
He called Cyril Gane a cheater,
Yeah.
and I think Cyril Gane is a dirty fighter. He is a dirty fighter because he does poke people in the eye quite a
Yeah.
bit. The
Yeah.
back of the head shots are so blatant. He's a cheater. He's a dirty fighter. Maybe not cheater, but he's a dirty fighter. He doesn't fight very clean. And to know that we could potentially be in a situation where this rematch will take longer to secure
Yeah.
than we initially expected because the eye damage is so bad. And a lot of people are still clowning Tom Aspinall for it because they're saying that he's faking it, etc. Because his eye looks fine, but internal damage doesn't always reflect the external appearance of,
Yeah.
whatever part of your body is injured.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope he's okay. I hope he doesn't need any surgery because if he does need surgery, that complicates things so
It
much.
does.
Yeah.
Vivid
But
picture.
yeah, but he's mad. He's mad. He said, "No more Mr. Nice Guy." I don't know what that might mean because I don't think Tom Aspinall has it in him to really come back and start talking trash. But he's mad. He's upset.
You know what he should have done? There was a simple fix for all this. Just don't parade your eye injury around. Like, don't document it. People would have forgot about it already. Nobody would be talking about this again and again if he hadn't photographed or videotaped his post fight recovery journey. I think that's what did the most damage. And the Brown syndrome, can you even get Brown syndrome because you were poking the eye? Isn't it like a congenital disease or something?
Yeah, who knows if
Yeah.
he made a mistake. He made a mistake because honestly, let's think back to the last fighter who everybody accused of faking the eye poke, Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
Because, he was smiling in the cage and
Yeah.
everybody's, he quit. He did not document the post-fight process of him getting his eye checked and this and that. At least not in the way that Tom Aspinall did with, his dad coming out and saying, "Oh, it's hard to see everybody making fun of my son because of his eye injury and this and that." He should have just let it go. Be
Let it
quiet.
go. Yeah.
Don't turn up with sunglasses and the doctor said this, and then posting clips of your doctor's visit and then a second doctor's visit. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. If he's hurt, he's hurt.
Yeah.
If he's injured, it's unfortunate. I think he's injured, but he went about this the wrong way because now
Honestly.
people will never let this go unless he goes in there and demolishes Cyril Gane in a round.
Yeah.
Because people are talking about, he quit. Well, the only way to get rid of this is to go in there and just beat the brakes off of Cyril Gane, which I don't know if he can do.
For what on
I don't
him,
know if
huh?
he can because he
Like Alex
was-
Pereira did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just immediately step on his shadow and just throw hands.
Yeah.
Get him out of there in round one. Do more than a 1-2 because honestly, a lot of these fighters who are often billed as super skilled and so on, they're not that skilled. Tom Aspinall is not that skilled. He's really, really fast. He's powerful. He's explosive. He's agile. But as a striker, he just has a 1-2.
Yeah.
That's it. He has a 1-2 that's really fast. And he has a good double leg. He's great on the ground. But
Is
I
he great
think
on the
Cyril
ground?
Gane is just a bad matchup. He is. He's pretty good on the ground.
He's
I mean,
good.
if
He's
you're
good.
out here getting Kimuras,
Yeah.
You're pretty good because Kimuras are such a low percentage submission because
Yeah.
to
True.
get a Kimura against someone, you either have to be way more skilled than them or a lot stronger than them.
Yeah.
Ideally, both. Because, if you're getting taught by a Kimura, you don't know what you're doing on the ground.
Yeah.
You genuinely don't. Or you're fighting someone who's just comically strong with it. But he's angry. He's very, very angry. And should be interesting because he did all of this, right? You said it's a bad look, and it is a bad look.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall has set himself up for failure because if he does not beat Cyril Gane, if he goes in there and loses that belt to Cyril Gane in the rematch,
Oh boy. Yeah.
image destroyed. Image destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas Cyril Gane, he's already been humiliated. He lost to John Jones. He lost to Francis
Ngannou.
Ngannou. Everybody's made fun of Cyril Gane. Nobody expects much of him. Whereas Tom Aspinall, baddest man on the planet. But now everybody thinks he quit. He cannot go in there and lose because, yeah, it'll just be bad for him.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have doubts about his. I'm not saying his ground game is bad because we have seen him train. We do see his training footages. He trains extensively on the ground, like on his ground game. And you remember Ngannou versus Cyril Gane. Granted, it was a few years ago. I get that people do improve their craft. You see how easy those takedowns came for Ngannou, and if Tom Aspinall is good with his wrestling, okay, jiu-jitsu is another. You first have to get the person on the ground or control him at least. He did try to get him on the ground, Cyril Gane, a couple of times during their fight, and he was kind of struggling. So even if his wrestling is good, just how good is it? And in a straight,
I don't think his wrestling is good.
yeah,
I think his jiu-jitsu is really good.
Yeah.
His wrestling isn't that good.
that good, exactly. So if it's a
Apparently he
stand-up
wasn't-
fight, yeah, go ahead.
Apparently, he wasn't going for takedowns.
Hmm,
Apparently, he was not going for takedowns because
yeah,
he, in an interview recently, he said somebody asked him that, "What about those failed takedowns?" And he said, "Those were not failed takedowns. I was just
like,
following Khabib's advice because if y'all remember, Khabib spoke to him
yeah,
in the dressing
Oh,
room
yeah.
before the fight,
yeah,
and he said that Khabib advised him to switch things up, fool the opponents, like bait them,
yeah,
feint, and he was like, I was not going for a takedown because I knew his fingers were right there.
yeah,
Like, because like every time he tried to level switch, it kind of Gane's fingers just got in the way.
hmm,
Yeah,
So
he was right because he got eye poked during
Yeah.
one of those
Yeah.
level changes.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
yeah,
But I don't know, man.
That
A
was an
straight
interesting thing.
striking battle. I think Cyril Gane takes it. He's too quick on his feet, and he attacks from like his punches, kicks, like his striking like he takes angles. He just doesn't
Yeah.
come straight at you with a 1-2. And if Ngannou couldn't do it, I mean, Tom Aspinall is faster and all, but I highly doubt he's gonna catch Cyril Gane with one of those big shots. You'll have to outbox him or outkick box him, whatever it is. I really don't see it
Yeah.
happening. Khabib's advice,
Yeah.
it holds weight. You'll have to throw different things his way, get him afraid. I mean, make him feel the threat of the takedown, then get your striking game going. I think that is the only way. But for that, your wrestling needs to be good. He needs to feel threatened.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll
Yeah.
happen.
He does. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Do y'all
But
think
speaking of wrestling, we have an intro up. Go on.
do y'all think that the UFC does like an interim if he goes in for surgery?
Yeah. I think
They
so.
have to, right?
Who will it be
Yeah, I
though?
think they would. I think they'd book I don't know. Cyril
Almeida?
Gane versus
Almeida?
nah. They
Nope.
they hate him so much. They hate him so much.
Volko.
No chance.
Again.
What that other guy, Waldo Cortez Acosta, I think.
Yeah.
Provided
that's what I was-
he, yeah, I think so too. Because he has been calling out Tom Aspinall. he has. He wins his fights and then he gets on the interview and he clowns him and
Yeah.
So
But he's even ranked though.
Yeah, he is. Waldo
Yeah.
Cortez Acosta is ranked. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's number
yeah.
5 in
He's
the
ranked.
UFC heavyweight
Oh,
rankings.
damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That speaks to the talent pool, at heavyweight.
yeah.
I mean, heavyweight has always sucked. To be fair, it's always sucked. It's never been a deep division. It's been terrible. It's been terrible. Remember when it was literally just Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos, and then
Yeah.
just the old guard,
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
Nog, and
Yeah. But it
so
makes sense, I
it's
guess.
heavyweight.
Few big
Yeah,
dudes to go around. Yeah. Ricardo, you were leaning into another.
yeah. This weekend
Yeah.
we have Merab Dvalishvili versus Piotr Jan. We have Peyton Talbot versus Henry Cejudo, and we
Yeah.
have Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van. Who do you guys think is winning these fights?
I mean, starting from the main event, I think I have Merab
Yeah.
taking it again. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No question. No
the
question.
easiest.
Yeah,
It's easiest. Yeah, you
Merab, man.
just pick Merab to beat everybody. Just pick
Yeah.
him to beat everybody. Like, honestly, Piotr Jan, as good as he is the worst possible style if you intend to beat someone like Merab, because he always gives up round one because he wants to download the data. He wants to study his opponent. He wants to test out and assess his opponent's tendencies to inform his eventual game plan in the fight. The problem is you cannot afford to give up round one against someone like Merab, who will only get stronger as the fight progresses. And then to add to Piotr Jan's woes, there's also the fact that Merab Dvalishvili does not give his opponents time to make reads and to download the data, to set this thing up and set this thing up, because Merab is all gas, no brakes.
Yep.
He
Yep.
overwhelms your decision-making process because he's always shooting for takedowns. He's always feinting. He's always moving. And he's a much better striker now. So he's always doing something. He overloads you with activity. And if you're trying to make reads so you can know how to react, you're just going to spend rounds reacting. Eventually, you react incorrectly. You might get taken down. To his credit, Piotr Jan is a very good defensive wrestler, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get held up against the cage. You're still in a losing position. If you get held up against the cage, they're kneeing you in the thigh. I think it's going to be a boring fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because Piotr Jan is not the easiest guy to take down, but he's not going to be able to get off the cage to stop Merab. And I just think, who was the guy that Piotr Jan fought last time? I forgot his name.
His last fight.
It's
I'll have to check.
yeah, it's isn't it the McGee something like that?
Yeah. Piotr Jan. Who did he fight?
Marcus McGee.
Marcus McGee. What's it?
Marcus McGee. Okay, yeah.
Marcus
So
McGee. Yeah.
Marcus McGee, powerful fighter, but
Yeah.
he's not at the level of
Yeah.
the top five. He just isn't. And losing a round to Marcus McGee and having a fairly competitive fight against someone of Marcus McGee's caliber, who again, he's good, but he's not Merab. Nobody's Merab.
Yeah.
And Merab's only gotten better. I don't see a situation where Piotr Jan wins this fight at all. At all.
Yeah.
Unless he catches him, but that's a very low percentage chance.
Yeah. Piotr Jan is not one of those one-punch knockout artists, is it? Is he?
Yeah, he's not. He really isn't.
So
No.
Yeah.
It's this pay-per-view is just straightforward, I believe. Like Merab is gonna do Merab again and defend the belt. Alessandro Pantoja is probably gonna do Alessandro Pantoja again, all over again. Joshua, and I don't know. I mean, there might be an upset, but if I had to bet, man, I think it's Pantoja. The only thing I have I'd struggle to predict is our own Triple C versus Talbot. I don't know how that
Albert.
goes. Yeah, Peyton Talbot. I don't know how that goes because Cejudo is not. I don't think he is the Cejudo of the past anymore.
Oh, he definitely
Rest,
isn't.
yeah, wrestling is not there. So if his wrestling is not there, I don't. Yeah, he might be able to outstrike Peyton Talbot, but again, doubtful. He hasn't shown us anything that he can compete at the higher levels recently. So, you know, that is doubt. It might be a 50-50 or even 60-40 thing for Talbot. But other two matchups, I think it's fairly straightforward. But I kind of feel like Ricardo might take Juan, Joshua Juan. Am I right?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Pantoja looks to be in incredible shape right now.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the guy's looking huge. Like he makes me want to go to the back to the gym. You know, like I'm not as big as I used to be, but
Yeah.
he looks insane. He looks insane. I've never seen him in this kind of shape.
Yeah.
The problem, though, is that Pantoja, he could win, and he should. He should. But the problem is, I don't think Pantoja is as skilled as he seems. He's very physical. He's clearly very skilled at grappling. But Pantoja has success because he is always on the front foot. He's
Yeah.
always pushing the pace, but he doesn't have the gas tank to do that. He gets tired very quickly. It's just that he has so much heart that he just keeps doing it. It's almost like Duplessis when he, was supposedly, what was it, 30% oxygen or something, which is
Yeah.
impossible, by the way. He would have been dead. He would have been dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
But um, just gasping for air, but just continuing to come forward through sheer willpower. And it's like, okay, is that going to work against Joshua Van? Because Pantoja doesn't have good entries. He often steps into strike from very long range without any long range weapons. He overextends. And I think if you do that against a counter puncher like Joshua Van, who doesn't drop his hands, by the way, a lot of MMA boxers will drop their hand to their hip to get this big wind up for
Yeah.
power. Joshua Van doesn't do that. It's very clean. It's always from his guard. It's very snappy, and it makes it hard to see his shots coming. Now, what happened the last time Pantoja fought someone like this? Davison Figueiredo. He got dealt with pretty badly. But is Joshua Van a good enough counter wrestler to stop Pantoja? I think this fight could go one of two ways. If Pantoja doesn't submit him within the first 2 rounds, he's getting demolished.
Okay.
But I see a world where Pantoja is just too physical. He has to be careful because he can't be caught on his way in because he'll get sniped. But I think his window is in the first 2 rounds, maybe first round and a half, because he does go really, really hard. And he was gassing out against Kai Kara France
Yeah.
toward the end.
Yeah.
Like he was gassing out. He got the submission, but he was tired. And that's not a good look. That's not a good look. Yeah, he might win, and he should, because he's one of the greatest flyweights ever. But yeah, it's a tough one. As far as Peyton Talbot and Henry Cejudo go, Henry Cejudo is just not at that level anymore. I don't think his wrestling was ever that good to begin with in MMA.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's very accomplished. He's an Olympic gold medalist, one of the youngest ever. For a while, he was the youngest ever in American history, at least. But his wrestling has never been his biggest strength in MMA. Like, when was the last time Cejudo took someone down, controlled them, got all this control time, and then submitted someone? Never. He's never really done that.
Yeah.
He's always been kind of a wrestler boxer who he boxes and he gets the odd takedown here and there, but he can never control anyone, never submit anyone. And later he transitioned into that kind of karate fighting style where he's using the karate stance where he's bouncing in and out of range to disturb the rhythm that his opponent gets used to. Because if you're fighting somebody like that, you get used to a certain rhythm, but then he immediately changes his speed. And also, by bouncing in and out, in and out, in and out, you try to time him. And when you lunge forward, that's when he also lunges forward and creates a collision between his fist and his opponent's face.
Yeah.
And it's great, it's fantastic. But when that doesn't work, what does he do? He just reverts to his boxing. So he just starts walking you down and he just starts throwing and relying on his toughness. And when that doesn't work, he's lost. He just doesn't have a lot of ways to navigate fights. You look at his skill set, you think he should have all the skills. He's got
Yeah.
great wrestling on paper. His striking is decent, but when those two approaches, the karate approach and then the boxing approach, when those go out the window, he has nothing, absolutely nothing. And it's so weird when you think about how Cejudo is able to game plan so well for other fighters,
Yeah.
but when it
Yeah.
comes to himself,
Yeah.
It
he
is
just can't
weird,
do
isn't
it.
it? Yeah.
And I think it is super weird. Granted, Peyton Talbot's defensive wrestling is awful, but I think he's big, he's powerful, and I just don't think Henry Cejudo has it in him. I don't think he could control him anyway. I just don't think he can control him. And I think if you start getting into 50-50 boxing exchanges with Peyton Talbot, you're going to get knocked out. Henry Cejudo, to his credit, has never been knocked out. I mean, he's been TKO'd by Demetrius Johnson with that knee to the body, but he's never been knocked out. Like nobody's ever cracked his chin.
Yeah.
Because the guy's really tough. But I just don't see a situation where he doesn't at least get dropped because of this habit of getting into 50-50 boxing exchanges. I don't know. I just think he's too old. He's past it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Talbot is
he
improving.
should.
So, there's that.
He's improving, yeah. So I think Henry Cejudo's decision. I don't think he's getting knocked out. He's too tough, but he's getting dropped a few times.
Yeah. Nishant?
I concur with that. I think Henry is past his prime. I think I'd like to see him retire on a win, but like I don't see it happening. I think I kind of have a feeling he's getting finished, but I don't know. I think he gets finished because in his last, who did he fight last? Who did Cejudo fight last?
Yadong, Song Yadong.
Song Yadong, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't really. Yeah, he didn't show.
Yeah, he
me
was getting
anything
lit up. Yeah.
promising. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think a finish is very much possible, but yeah, I don't see him getting any positive result out of this.
All right. Okay, so I think we have discussed quite a lot of stuff today. Well, pretty good episode.
Yeah, I think we wrapped that up.
Yeah, we'll all right. So folks, this is our I think 5th episode. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we're having a pretty good run. If you guys are enjoying it, so you know where the subscribe button is. So you guys can join us every other week. So all right, we'll see. We'll come back after 23 rather, and and see what's what. All right. So it's us signing off. Ujjwal, Ricardo, and Nishant. All right, people. See ya.